Good morning. Great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have to decide how we're going to think, what we're going to accept, reject in our minds, even to originate ideas. See, that's the power that we have in us, which can change everything if we'll just use that power, the power to think. Remember, you can think what you please. If to think is to form, you can form what you please. And that right there is something so incredible, so amazing, so simple that most people completely overlook it. With that being said, it's literally the key to the kingdom. And if you will engage with that, you'll see some magnificent shifts in your life. And that is pretty freaking great. So, again, welcome here and thank you for being here. And we hope that you're getting a lot from this. Now, before we proceed with more of what we're talking about, we have an announcement to make for you, and that is on March 14th, we have another emergence event, and we invite all of you to come along and join us for that beautiful journey. And you can register for it at elevitality.com. It's there at on the cover page. You'll see an option for you to opt in. Go ahead and opt in and share it with other people as well. It's the portal into magnificent change, and we'll talk about what's really in the way and how to change it. A magnificent way to change it. So make sure that you do register. Dolly and I have been working diligently with this, and we have this beautiful desire to help everyone to make significant change in their life. And we hope that you join us along that journey as well. Now, what have we been studying here in these sessions here in Master Your Mind? Well, we've been studying this beautiful gem here, The Science of Getting Rich. And for those of you who have been here, hasn't it been amazing? Type in the comments hearts if this has been wonderful for you. And if you've been using it, it's been even better, hasn't it? See, that brings in again the beautiful golden rule of application. Remember, application, baby, that's where it's at. That's the very first lesson we put into play for emergence, because that's the missing component when it comes to knowledge and information. Remember, knowledge, information doesn't have any power in and of itself. It's through use of the information that the power is delivered. Now, with that being said, here, Wallace Wattles talks about the science of getting rich, and there is a science to getting rich. And if you work with the science, guess what? You will certainly get rich. Now, here's another thing that's really beautiful about this book too, as well as it's rooted in principle, so it works for anything and everything. Want to shift your lifestyle? Want to change how you feel about yourself? You want to change the outcomes of your life in terms of what you achieve? The principles that are shared here work just as beautifully and powerfully for attracting money into your life as they do for making those things happen. See, that's why we have tapped into this, and this is why we study this and share this with you, because of how important it is. Now, with that being said, if you don't have a copy of this, get a copy of it. Get this specific copy with this imagery. It has a specific version of, or I should say, edition of The Science of Getting Rich that we did a lot of research on to make sure that it was accurate to when it was published by Wallace Wattles. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Let's dive into where we left off. So in the comments, type, I'm ready if you're ready. I'm ready. And oh my gosh, we're going to go into this. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom. All right. Now, where are we in this beautiful gem? Okay, we're on page 104 in this book. Now, what does he say here? He says, you can do what you want to do, and it is your right and privilege to follow the business or a vocation which will be most congenial and pleasant. Now, think about that. You can do what you want to do and work wherever you want to work. You are not obliged to do what you do not like to do and should not do it except as a means to bring you to doing the thing you want to do. So you can be in a business right now that you don't necessarily want to be in and you don't want to do it, and that's fine. You don't have to do it. With that being said, it's important that you do it, but make sure you're doing it as a means to get you where you desire to be. See, this is called acting in a certain way and thinking in a certain way. Give it all you've got where you are, and it will then lead you to where you are seeking to be. Now, if there are past mistakes whose consequences have placed you in an undesirable business or environment, you may be obliged for some time to do what you do not like to do, but you can make the doing of it pleasant by knowing that it is making it possible for you to come to the doing of what you want to do. See, this is shifting your attitude, and that is extremely important. Your attitude is vital. Bad attitude, bad results. Good attitude, good results. When you shift your perception about what's going on so that it's in harmony with you having a really great attitude, oh my God, watch out. Get ready to skyrocket. Now, if you feel that you are not in the right vocation, do not act too hastily and trying to get into another one. Don't hurry. Remember, hurry is a state of fear. Type that in the comments. Hurry is a state of fear. Write that around this. The best way generally to change business or environment is by growth. Now, sit in that for a moment. The best way generally to change business or environment is by growth. And what's the only way that you're going to growth? It's by doing more than what is expected of you. It's by more than filling your place. And see, this ties into being the best that you can possibly be. If you're unwilling to do more than what you're being paid, you will never earn more than what you're being paid. See, what is that? That's doing things in a certain way. That's thinking in a certain way. Now, unfortunately, we see that that's not the case with the overwhelming majority of people, is it? Most people are living their lives and they're grumpy and they're upset and they're thinking about what they don't want. They're constantly focused in that with that bad attitude. And they're wondering why they're not being led to where they would love to be. Why? Because their attitude is shitty. And to top it off, they didn't even know why their attitude is shitty because they formed the habit of having a shitty attitude. It's crazy. With that being said, here within these calls, this is where we give you awareness of that so that you don't play that game, which is not in harmony with the law. Now, do not be afraid to make a sudden and radical change if the opportunity is presented and you feel, after careful consideration, that it is the right opportunity. But never take sudden or radical action when you are in doubt as to the wisdom of doing so. Put a big box around this. Put big, beautiful hearts around it too as well. Now, the thing I want you to notice with regards to this section is how it's tied into preparation. And that when you prepare, opportunities will show. Now, will there be resistance to move on the opportunity? Of course there will. Why? Because your conditioning doesn't recognize that conclusion. With that being said, if you prepare and you're continually thinking from how you would love things to be, see, this is where the gold card comes into play. This is where you get to sync with it when the opportunity does arise and connect with it and move forward, even though the fear is there. With that being said, it's important to recognize the emphasis that he placed here on this second section, but never take a sudden or radical action if you are in doubt as to the wisdom of doing so. See, operate with faith which is directly proportionate to this belief that you've been working to build in you. This reminds me of that interview that I've shared many times about Tom Cruise. He was there on the red carpet and somebody was interviewing him and said, "Why is it that you don't have any fear? You go about and do these things, and oh my gosh, you don't have any fear. How do you do that?" And then he leaned into the microphone and says, "What are you talking about?" He's all puzzled. He says, "I have fear. I just do it anyways." See, he recognizes this because of all that preparation. Now think about the implications this has with you delivering outstanding outcomes in your life, attracting more money into your life, changing your lifestyle, changing everything. Preparation has to happen first. With that being said, remember that you're preparing for the change. So, with that being said, when it does come, don't be afraid to take sudden radical change if the opportunity is presented, because it is going to come. It's not a matter of whether or not it's going to come, it's going to come. Now, before we proceed and go further, for those of you who are watching this live stream and are connecting with this, and would love to tap into the rest of these calls, these live calls, and also access the replays, do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You will thank yourself later, because these calls are incredible and they're powerful if you use them. All right, now let's go back to this.